Hello again, this is Andrew McNair from SWAN Capital with our February 2013 update. Please make sure to review the attached disclosures when you finish watching this video. Okay, let's get started. Despite major headwinds from Washington and the rumblings from Europe, markets managed to hold on to the rally during most of February. While markets did stumble a little bit in the third week, they quickly recovered and managed to end the month on a positive note. For the month, the S&P gained 1.34% and the Dow gained 1.64%. NASDAQ trailed behind with only 0.88%. The major headline of the month was, you guessed it, the sequestration. In this context, it's referred to as the automatic series of federal spending cuts that began on March 1st. The sequestration deadline was extended in January during the fiscal cliff debates, but lawmakers were not able to negotiate an agreement before the March 1st deadline. So in case you haven't been keeping up with the news, these spending cuts will trim $85 billion from the federal budget. And this might not sound so bad, but the problem is that agencies can't pick and choose where to cut. Ultimately, many programs, including defense, Medicare, and other critical areas, all have cuts coming soon. While the mandatory cuts have been ordered, they haven't filtered down yet, offering some breathing room before we begin to see the full effects later this month. So here's to hoping that the politicians will finally get it together before then. And if you'd like to hear more information on this sequestration, we have a white paper that's available on swan-capital.com. Also, besides the sequestration, we had to deal with the troubles in Europe that drove selling pressure in February, as many investors grew concerned about the continued weakness in the Eurozone economy. After 2 quarters of negative growth, Europe is now technically in a recession. Though this is certainly no surprise to anyone who's been following this issue. In the final week of February, Italy's national election results were released and showed a deadlock. This is a problem, since a strong leader will be necessary to push through economic reform and deal with Italy's many economic problems, which is also the effect the rest of Europe. While there is reason to be concerned about the European Union as a whole, it is a major trading partner with the U.S., but Italy's economic problems alone aren't enough to make a real dent in our progress here at home. So in other words, don't let the news out of Italy cause you to alter your entire investment strategy. Okay, enough with the negative news. Let's get some positive side. On the positive side, we saw a release of some optimistic economic data this month, which overall shows that the U.S. economy is still chugging along. Here are some highlights. Consumer confidence is up despite the new 2% payroll tax that hit in February, meaning that consumers are already adjusting to their smaller paychecks. And consumer spending also increased in January, which is especially good news because this is the main engine of the U.S. economy. Also, we're seeing booming sales in the housing sectors, with new homes increasing to the highest level since July of 2008. Looking ahead, we expect the sequestration to dominate the headlines as government agencies begin hacking away at their budgets and lawmakers continue their debate. We're pleased that the markets seem to be shrugging off the news so far, but we won't be surprised to see some turbulence ahead. There's also another deadline that you need to take note of this month. It's March 27th. That is the date that current round of federal spending is due to expire. This means that lawmakers need to resolve the sequestration issue and pass a new round of funding before the federal government has to shut down. It's too early to make a definite prediction about what will happen, but we're keeping a close eye with what's going on in Washington, and we'll be sure to keep you updated. Remember to check out our upcoming educational events on our events page on swan-capital.com. Once again, this is Andrew McNair with SWAN Capital, signing off for the month of February 2013. Always, if you have any questions about what you've heard in this update, or would just like to discuss your personal financial situation, please give us a call at 850-380-8255. 9558, and we'd be happy to talk with you.